it because there's an awful lot of information that I have to give you over the next 20 minutes. So if you have your pads and pens ready. We're all in the business of network marketing. That means we have to have a network to market to. My background was that I was a police officer. I didn't have many friends. I had 2 really close friends, and that was it. One of those was Lisa Prescott. Thank God. She's done all right. And I really worried when I first started. If I'm honest, I didn't really grab the concept that I would have to speak to lots and lots of people. I thought that, I had a few friends, a few family members, and that would actually be enough. It's naive to think that way. Even if you are doing this business just to retail, you still need a network to market your products to. If you're looking to build a team as well, you're going to need to speak to an awful lot of people. And I think one thing when you start your business, you can be naive in thinking your existing network will be where you build a business. But that didn't happen for me. I had to make friends. I had to talk to new people. And honestly, I was terrified of it. Absolutely terrified. But when I was told that, Emma, you add to your list, you do regular activity, you consistently build that list, it is a working document that you keep building day after day, week after week, month after month, then it kind of clicked with me. I'm going to have to speak to a lot of people to build a business. So you best just get comfortable with it. Am I comfortable with it now? Not really. Am I going to do it? Yeah, of course I am. You just do it. But understanding the importance of it is absolutely key, so that when you're helping other people start their business, you can explain the importance of it to them. So we need a network, and we need to keep building on that network that we can then market to them. Why do we need it in a list form? Because it is vital that the building blocks of your business are set in stone. They're on paper. And my working document, my Who Do You Know list, goes with me everywhere. Everywhere. I'm always updating it. And if you treat it really seriously, you'll have copies of it. I've got copies of mine locked away. Why people don't do a list? What are the kind of things that I hear of, oh, well, yeah, I haven't done my list. Why not? It's the first thing, apart from goal setting, understanding why you're doing the business, it's the first thing that you should do when you start. Yet, I speak to lots and lots of people during planning meetings, when I'm out and about meeting other FBOs, and I say, be honest with me, have you done a Who Do You Know list? Well, kinda. No, I don't know many people. My family and friends, they're not interested. To be honest, I just know people, that everyone I know is on my Facebook. I've spoken to everybody, I've asked everybody. But when I actually dig deeper and say, okay, well, show me. Oh, I can't. Okay, so you haven't actually started your business yet. If you're sat there thinking, oh, well, that's me. I've not even done a list yet. I've not done it properly, I've not expanded on it, then you have not started your business yet. Now, you've heard my sister Nicola Evans did a slot at one of the success days about the importance of the Who Do You Know list, and she admitted that she dummied me for 2 years and told me she'd done a list. Now, you don't think you have to check on your own sister. She's really good at lying to me. And she hadn't done a list. When she did a list, her business is going crazy. You see, you can wing it for so long, but it will catch up with you. If you don't set the right foundations, it will crumble. And you might see a bit of success, but after that, it's gone. So you have to do it properly. None of these excuses. Get it down on paper. And from that point, you can start to build on it and seriously build a business. Because I think from what you've heard so far this morning, from what you've heard Adam talk about, you've got to be in this for the long haul. You've got to be the rock in your business. Because if I had not looked at it long term, I probably wouldn't have got started. I contacted 380 people in the first 21 days of my business. And lots of you will already know, do you know how many joined? One person in those 21 days. Now, I speak to so many people who say, I've spoken to so many people, nobody's interested. How many people have you spoken to? Where are your activity trackers? Oh, I haven't written them down. Well, you need to. It's part of the process. We have to do the basics. How many people have you spoken to? Oh, loads. How many's loads? 20? Like, okay, keep going. You've got to speak to a lot of people. You've got to. The more you speak to, the more confident you'll become. And if you're in it for the long haul, it will pay off. Take a look at some of these figures. This is how long we took to join the business. I took 4 years to join. Imagine if Jules had given up. In that meantime, there would have been no one there to help me. Kyle, my brother, laughed at us. He's famous for saying, like, if you talk about forever, well, we were banned from talking about forever. We weren't allowed to talk about forever when my brother came home from London. He was like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing about it. My mum, my sister and I were all building our forever businesses, and we were really excited. It wasn't until 18 months after I joined, and within that time, I'd earned, I don't know, £300,000 with forever. It took him that long to join. I know, it's funny, isn't it? And he would ring me every month, 15th of the month. What'd you get paid? What'd you get paid? What'd you get paid? It took for me to be earning, I think it was after my first Sapphire, about £30,000 a month before Kyle went, really? Like 10,000 wasn't enough, or 6,000 wasn't enough. He was a cop earning 1,600 quid a month. Like, was that not impressive enough? Nope. So sometimes you have to let people sit and watch, knowing that they are watching you be the rock in your business, be the rock in your forever business, that they know you are not going anywhere. So they trust you when the time is right for them to let you help them build a business. See, they have to see you as that person. Have you been a flaky person before? How many of you joined the business and someone said, oh, what is it this time? What are you doing now? I did. Lisa Prescott will openly admit that when I offered her to have a look at Forever, the only reason why she joined is she said, you used to have so many ideas and things that didn't actually work that I was just too scared to say no, just in case I always knew you were going to get rich. She said, I just didn't want you to get rich without me, so I thought, well, I'll do it just in case this is the thing that makes her rich. Lucky she did. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But that's why she joined. Now look at her. And I had no idea about that. She did a presentation about a year and a half ago, and I said, are you serious? That's why you joined? She said, yeah, I just didn't want to miss out. Tamsin, my best friend, I think she was the first person I was friends with in junior school. Tams took 6 months to join. Tamsin said to me, I'd done this great one-to-one. I'd driven all the way back to Wales just to meet Tamsin. So a 7-hour round trip. I was still pregnant. I'd literally told her, Tamsin was one of the first 5 people I told about the business. I knew she would be amazing at it. Sat down, did the most amazing one-to-one. At the end of the one-to-one, and my sister hadn't yet joined, and she was walking through the kitchen, and Tamsin turned to me and said, no, so I was like, so can you see how working alongside? And she went, yeah, it's one of them pyramid schemes. I'm like, man, I just spent 2 hours showing her the business, and that's what she comes out with. Yeah, it's one of them pyramid schemes. I'm like, no. 6 months later, 5 one-to-ones, she comes back to me and says, right, can I meet you again? I said, no, Tam, I'm not meeting you again. I'm only meeting you again if you joined. I have not got the time. I'm building a really big business. If you want to join, I'll help you. But if not, you know everything about it now. You're either going to join or you're not, so leave me alone. Oh, go on then. How do I join? I was like, fill in this form, and then I'll come meet you. So she did. Sarah actually contacted me from what I was putting on my social media, and nothing like, join me, I'm recruiting, nothing like that. Just what I was showing, coming to events like this, going to business presentations, doing online trainings, in front of my laptop. Sarah was a trainer for the banking industry, and she thought, my gosh, you can train people from home? What is it that you're doing? So actually she messaged me late at night. I was traveling back to Wales with Sean, and I got a message from Sarah saying, why the bleep are you so happy? Now, I hadn't seen Sarah for probably over 10 years when we'd worked together, and I said, it's this business, Sarah. It's just amazing, and I think you would be awesome at it. Little did I know, and when you hear Sarah tell her story, she says, nobody had ever told me that I was awesome at anything, or I would be good at something. She said, so when Emma said that, I thought, I'm in. And she actually did say, that's it, let's do it. I'm like, what? Well, let me show you some information. She said, no, whatever it is, I'm in. So I could have started a brothel. She was in. Yeah, whatever it is, I'll do it. Really? I was shocked. Claire, my brother actually recruited Claire for me. Thanks, Kai. Should have joined. Kyle met Claire in a hot tub in the rehab centre in the police. Rehabilitated from a physical injury, not drugs or drink or anything. And he said, oh, you should speak to my sister. She was a police officer and she started this business. She loves it. Cheers, Kai. And so Claire joined. She's now a senior manager. Laura, I didn't actually sponsor Laura myself, and this is the lesson of you to really help as many people as you physically can, whether you sponsor them yourself or not. Because my second manager actually resigned after she went manager. I have no idea why. I still don't know why. She resigned. She sponsored 4 people frontline. 4 people. So Laura made me a senior manager. I'm going to be left with 2 fingers up, aren't I? I'm not going to do that. Laura made me a senior manager. Ginny helped me with the soaring. And then Jackie Bishop was the person who helped me get to Sapphire Manager. 3 out of those 4 people that was sponsored ended up being really, really significant in my business, and really all just through a wish to help as many people as I could. I didn't really understand the whole PIN thing, because we've always been taught, go for income, not for PIN positions. And it's really important to do that, go for income. And Nicola, my own sister, took 4 months, and when I went home and said, this is this stuff, Nick, that my business, and I took out the yellow gel, she went, oh yeah, I drink that. What? Yeah, I've been drinking that for years. Really? Who'd you buy it off? She's like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, and they never told you about the business? No? Oh, brilliant. So 4 months later, Nick went to the global rally with my mum because William was in hospital. He was only a month old. He was in hospital. I couldn't go. And she came back so excited. It was almost disturbing. She skipped into the house, said, oh my God. Every sentence Nicola said, she's very excited. She starts to say, oh my God. Even if it's not very oh my God-y. So she said, oh my God, have you heard of 360? I'm like, no, what's 360? She said, oh my God, it's amazing. I said, is it? She said, Emma, you don't understand. This will cost me millions to get in my doll company, millions, and you're getting it for 13 quid a month. It is crazy. I said, all right, what does it do? She said, well, I've signed myself up on it. And I went, what? So other businesses can use 360? And she said, no, I've signed myself up in business. I've joined. I'm like, join what, me? She said, yeah. I said, you haven't got time. She was working really hard, so I kind of tried to talk her out of it. But she was set, she was doing it. And look what happened with Nick, working it very, very flexibly and part-time. You think about the long haul and everything else will look after itself. If you just do the basics of building your list, commit it to paper. Your who do you know list is the most important thing in your business. And if you haven't done it yet, take solace in the fact that if you're not where you want to be in your business, if you haven't done your who do you know list, then that is exactly why. You haven't started yet, so let's get started. You want to print off the template. It's very important that everything we do in our business is duplicatable. So if you're one of those people that likes to work from a spreadsheet, I mean, okay, but you have to do the basics first, because you have to be able to show the next person that joins your team that anybody can do this. Anybody can print off a sheet of paper and write some names down of the people that we know. Not everybody uses a computer. But if you just keep it simple, so doing this business in just its simplest form will be the thing that makes you the most money. Because it is sticking to the basics and showing somebody else how easy it is, how basic it is, but yet how rewarding it can be, is something that really is kind of like a big seller within our business. So no fancy spreadsheets, write them down. Give each person just a second's thought. You've got a comment section on the right-hand side. Just give them a second's thought. And have you ever had that happen to you where somebody's popped into your head just randomly and you just acknowledge it for a second? And then you might bump into them, or they message you, or they text you, or give you a call, or somebody mentions them and say, oh, that's so funny, I was just thinking about them the other day. That's not a coincidence. You've held them in your mind for a little bit, and so you're attracting them back into your life. And it's happened to me so many times, so many times. And when you get to that level of mindset, as well as believing, like, actually, yeah, things like this do happen, and you keep at that level of mindset, it does happen. I was walking up the street in Bath with Sean, I don't know, the back end of last year, and I said to him, do you know what, I think I really want to build a business in America. And he was like, oh, right. And I said, yeah, I do. He said, do you know anyone from America? I said, no. He said, well, how are you going to start then? I was like, I don't know. I just think if I put it out there, it'll happen. And we literally walked into this furniture shop, and the woman went, morning, ma'am. I was like, oh, you would be American, wouldn't you? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm such a mindset queen. But it's true, you know, like if you've got to put it out there. Just like you've got to put out there, like when you say, oh, I'm not recruiting. Yeah, I'm not good at recruiting. Stop saying it to yourself. Stop saying it. When you say, I haven't treated my business seriously. When I hear people on the stage say, oh, hopefully this time next year I'll be like, shut up. Stop saying it. When there's hope, there's no hope. Really. When there is hope, there is no hope. And anyone will tell you in my team, if they swear at me and say that H word, I'm like, it's nothing to do with hope, it's work. It's taking it seriously, mastering the basics and cracking on and doing it. Just tell a couple of people a day about your opportunity. Just make 2 new friends a day. That's it. That's all you've got to do. But we've got to take it seriously, and taking it seriously is committing it to paper, getting it started. Think about who you know. Go through it. We've got a fantastic, fantastic first steps to manager presentation where it literally takes you through everybody that you know, from every part of your life, your past. You know, by the age of 18, you know a minimum of 500 people by name, and they know you by name. Fact. That's a statistic. So your list should be at least 500 people. It should be. The consequences of not building your list correctly are expensive. There's Yvette Laister in the audience somewhere. You probably heard Nicola talk about her. There she is, I love. So you should build your list properly, because you don't want to watch 800,000, I worked it out, over the next 10 years, if Yvette had been in my business, walk across the stage. I've clapped her across many a time, like, I'm so happy, you're so good. When really, she should have been on my list. And we can laugh, but think about that. Think about it. £800,000 going into your family over the next 10 years, leaving a legacy for your children. So as much as I laugh and I say, like, idiot, she should have been on my list, I knew her husband. As much as I laugh, on a serious note, this is a serious business. I've let my family down just by not taking it seriously enough. And I didn't. Don't make the same mistake. Don't cheer 800 grand across the stage every success day because she's so good. Don't do it though. It is a serious business, and not just for you building your business. I mean, you know, for lots of people that you can help, including your family, the things that you'll be able to do. So go through this presentation and make sure you expand it thoroughly. Make sure you've got the regular activities booked in. There are so many things to do to expand on your list. Make sure you're doing them. I still do these today. I've not done anything different since I started. It's simple, but you have to keep doing them. Do they work? Yes, they work. You will see people on this stage, sponsored, recruited, whatever you want to call it, in many different ways. And so all the activities work if you're consistent with them. So you've got to stick to it. You can't just think, oh, well, I put a couple of posters up, I never got anything back from it. How many times did you do it? Well, I did it twice. Really? We all know Charlotte Pridmore. Charlotte Pridmore was sponsored by a leaflet through a door, which she got many times before. When the timing was right, she took a look at it. She had a one-to-one. She still wasn't interested. It was only when the girls went back to her and said, I've only popped in just to say, I really think you'll be very good at this. I know you said you weren't interested, but I'm just letting you know, I really think you'd be great. Oh, go on then. Go on then. And look at her now. You know, so all of these forms of activity work, but if you just sat there thinking about them, ain't never anything great's going to come of that. You've got to do it, because somebody else will. Somebody else will. If I had contacted her, she'd have joined me. I know she would have. We got on amazing. She would have. But I never did, because I didn't take it seriously enough. I didn't build my list properly. I didn't do it like I was told to do it. Treat it seriously. Really, really seriously. Stop procrastinating. Stop thinking people will be interested or won't be interested. You have no idea about what is going on behind closed doors, and you don't know if you've just thrown someone a lifeline. Share your opportunity, share your products, stop judging people, stop being selfish and thinking about yourself and whether your ego can take the rejection or not, and just speak to people. And over time, if the opportunity is right for them, they'll be part of your business, they'll be part of your life, you'll be able to help them. But just take out that limiting belief, if you like, of whether it's going to be for somebody or not, whether you're going to offer it to them and they're going to be offended. Forget it. Because, I wasn't offended when Juliana offered me the business. I rolled my eyes and thought, why would I do that? I'm a police officer. But 4 years later, when I really, really needed something, she was still there, a rock in her business, for me to say, will you help me? She said, yes. You've got to be that person. You've got to show people that you are in it for the long haul. There's no point telling them today, I've got this amazing business opportunity. It can really help you change your life. It can really help you do this, that, or the other. And then in 2 years' time, they say, oh yeah, not doing it anymore. You have to be the rock. You have to take it seriously. You have to master these basics. And if one thing you take from today, if there's one thing, let it be, go and write your list and expand it properly, and then you'll get your business started. Thank you.